So I've been waiting months to make this video for you guys, and it's all about the animation course that I've been talking and teasing over many videos over time. And the course is 2 weeks away. If all goes well and it all goes according to plan, it should release on the 15th of August. So there's lots to unpack here, and in this video I'd like to start by telling you guys a little bit about why this course, why this subject, and most importantly, an animation rig, my very first animation rig that I'm going to release for you guys to actually have a play with, for you guys to enjoy, and the character looks fantastic. So more about that in a bit, but for now, let's get started. Welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well. If you're new here and you're just curious, my name is Harvey Newman. I've been a games developer for over 20 years, worked in many AAA games, and I like to share my passion for animation here in this channel and talk about much more, including games development. But for this video, we're going to talk about my animation course, my upcoming animation course about motion capture. And the name of this course, and I might change it, but for now, the name of the course is Motion Capture for Games. And as simple as that sounds, I actually have researched a lot about courses for motion capture for games, and for me it was incredibly important for me to start a course, or my very first course, to be on something that I haven't really seen out there, or at least that it doesn't go as in depth as I can go on the subject of motion capture. And it's actually quite interesting because the more I looked at what's out there right now in terms of motion capture, there's normally, from my perspective, a bit of two holes in a way. The first one is normally the people that are actually explaining the information. They haven't really worked with motion capture, but they know the theory behind it, and I'm not going to name names. And the second problem is that they don't go as in depth as is needed for the games industry when you work professionally in a motion capture environment. And it comes from a perspective of like the indie developer or the person at home trying to actually capture motion capture and clean up motion capture for themselves personally, right? So there's lots of YouTube videos about this. There's lots of courses that you can pay to actually get information. But for me, it was important because I try to look for a course on motion capture from a professional, experienced person that has worked in many games over years, worked in many projects cleaning up motion capture, and I really couldn't find anybody, because there is such a thing as somebody that actually is just getting started and wants to learn about how to clean up motion capture, but then there's actually the experienced animator that wants to actually go and direct motion capture and see how things are actually done, how the things are planned, how to actually take your motion capture knowledge to another level that it hasn't been so far. And that's really important because this motion capture journey is genuinely way wider than people think. It's not just about getting the data of motion capture and cleaning it up. This is what a lot of animators think, that if I just learn how to clean motion capture, then I will know everything there is to know about motion capture. And unfortunately, that's just the beginning. There's much more to it, to this motion capture business, including the planning, including the directing, including the post-processing and getting information. So to me, I have so much knowledge over 20 years of doing this, because when I started straight away with motion capture, and then I went over to do a lot of hand key projects and back to motion capture again, both cinematics and gameplay, and that's also different, right, in motion capture. So there's a lot of knowledge there that I had in my head, and I always thought I need to actually get some of this knowledge outside. And I've made a few videos talking about plugins that you can use for motion capture, talking about how to clean up motion capture in a very basic way, a few tips and tricks peppered in there for motion capture. Go and check out those videos if you haven't so far. They are absolutely free, and they'll always be free. But for this course specifically, I wanted to go deep, very deep, for all those that actually really want to sit down, listen, and then follow along with the lessons that I am actually putting together. So now I've been working on this for the past maybe 7-8 months, I want to say, on and off. It's been incredibly hard having to do everything that I'm doing, plus doing this as well. Plus, is my very first course, right? So there's lots to learn because I'm not as experienced as some of the people out there. And I want to shout out two people specifically that have helped me a lot to learn more about how these courses can be structured and the potential of courses. And these two people are Pierrick first and foremost, I'll link him below. He has most likely the best courses out there for Blender. Incredible dude. We actually had an interview. We interviewed each other in each channel. Really cool, down-to-earth, humble dude. And actually, he taught me so much about what works in a course, what doesn't, and all these other things, which was amazing. And the second person is Richard Lico. And he also has a course, right, in his Animation Sherpa. And he actually gave me a different perspective on courses and how it works and stuff from somebody that has a very similar background to mine in games development and AAA and stuff. So those two people absolutely have been amazing to me and to my journey to actually get these courses done. So thank you very much for the two of them. But it doesn't stop there. I actually wanted to kind of like collaborate with many more people. So, for example, we at the moment are working with about 2 or 3 people, a modeler, a rigger, a technical animator, and they are all known in their own industries because they're savants at what they do. And I'll definitely shout them out as I actually kind of like talk more through the video. But the very first person that I have to shout out is Anthony. He's our modeler. He has done an amazing job. We work closely together to make sure that we have a character that looks really, really cool and very unique. So it's been absolutely fantastic to work with Anthony. It's been many months of us working together, but we finally got a character that looks really cool. And then I actually had to bring like rigging muscle into this project, and I could not think about anybody better than Kyle Figgins. So Kyle Figgins is the one actually rigging the character right now. If you actually are an animator, you 100% most likely will actually have used a Kyle Figgins rig at some point in time, because he's been doing rigs for the longest time, and he does some of the most sturdiest, some of the most solid rigs out there in the industry. And it's been wonderful working with Kyle, because his feedback and also his input on rigs and making sure that things look absolutely fantastic is really cool. And the rig looks really solid at this point. We'll continue working on it both before the course, on release, and after release, because obviously a rig has to fit every single animator out there. So if you guys have any feedback as you test out the rig and you're seeing this after the course goes live on August 15th, 2024, then feel free to actually say, put comments down below, or go to the course if you signed in and actually like share in the community about your trials and tribulations with the rig, because there'll be many. No rig can be perfect, but I'm pretty sure if anybody can make it as perfect as possible, it's going to be Kyle and his prowess doing the rig as solid as possible. Now, and the third person that I'm working with right now is an amazing, one of the best technical animators that I've worked with over the years, which is Emilio Serrano. Emilio is helping me with the Unreal side of things. He's really good at actually setting up things in Unreal. Now, this course, and I'll tell you guys more about the details of the course and how I broke it down next week, because there's so much information here. But this course doesn't really take you to, like, you know, the logic and stuff of Unreal. That's going to be a course that's going to come after. But for now, this course is mostly, because there's so much to talk about, is mostly covering motion capture, the cleaning process, and then eventually exporting and then implementing it in an in-engine, right? So to see it, you'll see your animation in engine with a character. So we have a character that actually can work both in Maya and also in engine. And the course is going to be fully in Maya, and is Maya mainly because I explain in the course how Maya is a professional tool that most studios use out there. And if you are going to become a gameplay animator working in the industry, there is like a 99% chance of you working with Maya. So I decided to kind of use the software that all the professionals use in order for you to know exactly which buttons to press and how to go about your business, cleaning the mocap just like the professionals do. Now, before I go ahead, I want to take a moment and showcase to you guys a few images here as I'm talking of Nubian. And Nubian is a really interesting character that we created. I didn't really know what character wanted to make, in all honesty, when I started the process, but the more I got into it, the more I got excited about it. And Nubian is very much, his name comes from this ancient tribe in Africa. They were called the Nubians, and they were considered, I mean, there's legends about them, and they were considered even smarter and more rich than even the Egyptians. And there's lots of legends about it, and like nobody knows if he's real or if he's not. And a lot of Wakanda is actually based on the Nubian kind of like myth or legend or story that existed previous to the Egyptians, right? So Nubians for me always were like super interesting. Plus my background is from Africa, my parents are from Cape Verde, and I actually was born in Europe, but you know, my parents actually, my whole family is from Cape Verde, so I felt like there was a connection there with Africa. And I thought that it would be very, very important for me to make sure that the character is black, has black hair with dreads, and also because my trip to Kenya, you guys remember that? Last year I went to Kenya via YouTube and all that stuff. I was super inspired by the Maasai warriors, that they had like this cloth, this like traditional cloths that they actually wear on top of themselves, which is really, really cool. And I thought I will bring some of that goodness into it, right? So he has a piece of like cloth on the side that actually kind of like symbolizes perhaps maybe a tribe that he was from, maybe the Nubian tribe. So that's basically the inspirations behind Nubian. So here you can see some images of how Nubian looks. I will share more about the rig and make an in-depth tour of the rig here in the channel at some point. But for now, just know that the character is getting rigged, both in Maya and Unreal, and there's lots of stuff going on behind the scenes that you will know more in the course when you sign up for it, right? So if this sounds interesting to you, definitely head to the website and add your email so you can actually be one of the first people to be notified as soon as the course goes live. Now, something else that I need to mention here and shout out as well is the partners that I've been actually working with. So I am working with a mocap studio called Super Alloy, I'm working with Autodesk, and I'm also working with Red 9. And there's a bunch of stuff that happens there that I wanted to kind of like basically give you guys like a basic cleanup, an intermediate cleanup, and then an advanced cleanup for all those professionals out there that would like to know more tips and tricks that I've learned over the years on how to clean up mocap, export it, how to direct it, how to plan it, and what's the difference between a cinematic and a gameplay mocap, how to actually have a spreadsheet with information that you can then take to the mocap volume and take with you, and much, much more, right? So for me, it was really important to make sure that we bring in professionals to the modules so they can share their opinions. So we have, for example, a mocap actor that is incredibly talented by the name of Eric. He was the actor that actually did all of the in-game mocap for Kratos from Sony Santa Monica, God of War, and he shares his experience as a mocap actor, working with directors, how to be directed, how to work with all the mocap actors. So you have, it's not just my mug talking to you guys and giving you information, it's also other professionals kind of sharing their information about motion capture and their perspectives, because obviously I don't know everything. So it would be great to actually have these professionals also sharing how they go about their business. So we have that in the course as well. So the whole idea of the course in a nutshell, just to kind of like finalize this video, because it's been quite a while, because I'm excited about it. So the whole idea of the course is to give you guys as much value as possible. And the more I made the course, the more I started realizing that I'm gonna have to start releasing these things over months, because the course is becoming so big that if I release it all in one go, I think it's not going to be the best bang for buck for people, right? Because I do think there's something to be said about you consuming the information and then spending some time kind of like digesting it, trying it, practicing it, and then moving off to the next section. So what's going to be released on the 15th is going to be like very much the first part of the course. But the best thing about it is that when you sign in for the course or when you buy the course, you pay one price and then you get updates as the updates roll on, but you don't have to pay anything else. So that price that you pay for the course is for the whole course, even though we are actually releasing it in cadence over months to make sure that we deliver the most value for you guys, and also allows me to spend more time in the quality section of the course to make sure that all videos are recorded in super high quality, making sure that I actually go in depth in every single category so you know as much as possible. And I'll be doing a little bit of this that I do here on YouTube to make sure that I share my personal experiences and why I think certain things are important for you to know, either as a junior or as an experienced animator or as a very talented upcoming director of animation, right? That basically is going to be the range that we're going to work on. So even if you are a junior and you're looking at the module that talks about animation direction, and for you it sounds kind of alien, it's really good for you to have like basically that fly on the wall view of what's coming, because eventually you will be that experienced person and you'll have have to have that information for the future on how to direct things or how to plan things and the responsibilities that come with it. So that is basically all of the stuff that I'm basically incorporating in the course. There's so much more to it that I want to share with you guys. So next week, I'll make sure to kind of give you guys a breakdown of exactly what happens in the course, how we're going to go about it, so you guys feel even better about making sure that if you invest in this course, it's going to be the best course for you guys and you're going to extract the most information for it. Now, on top of all this, just to finalize it, that's going to be a community coming together specifically for this course. So I'm still debating if I'm going to do it on Discord or if I'm actually going to do it on the platform that I'm using called Teachable. But either way, there's going to be a place for you to ask questions, for me to answer those questions, and for you to basically just either, share any problems that you're having or basically ask for more information about a specific module if you need to. So we are going to create a community based off this course so you can actually kind of like take the most out of it. So even the people that perhaps like are not understanding certain things, they can be informed either by myself or others on how this is broke down or this information, how it should be digested. And I took inspiration for this for my Discord, because the community on my Discord is super, super tight right now. It's really cool to see so many people answering questions from very young animators that actually have a lot of questions, and then seeing how they actually progress in their animations. And this is what I want for this course as well. Now, I hope this enticed you enough. And once again, if this sounds like your jam, then 100% consider going over to the website of the course, the page of the course, and signing up, adding your email so you can be one of the ones to know when it kind of goes live as it goes live, right? And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are excited as I am for this course to come out. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely make sure to subscribe if you actually want to know more. There's going to be many more videos about this course coming up, including rig reviews, including rig details, including module details, including webinars. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that I have planned for it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a comment with any concerns, questions, or anything that you have when it comes to the course. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the course or here in the channel as the weeks roll by. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Peace.